Greetings. The reasons to view this video include your health, your family's health, the health of your patient base, and the value to your practice. This is an introduction to ocular biogenomics. I am Dr. Rozakis, and my partner is Brian Bakke, a PhD in biochemistry. When I first saw this field in 2005, I saw it as the next LASIK for non-ocular disease. Then I started to realize that it had value for the eye. This field is biogenomics. It is applied biochemistry and endocrinology, applied genetics, nutrition, and lifestyle management. Biogenomics is a contraction of the words biochemistry and genetics. Biogenomics can be thought of as cellular medicine. Now with the Human Genome Project and 75 years of biochemistry, we know so much about the human cell that we need to apply that knowledge to maintain its function. I want to change gears now and talk about clinical practice, more specifically the use of nutraceuticals. My question is, are you seeing results with nutraceuticals, say for example for macular degeneration? Virtually all eye doctors answer this question with a no. Many don't bother with nutraceuticals for this reason. So that begs the question, what is the problem with nutraceuticals? The answer is, the deficiencies have not been defined that you are attempting to treat. The program you are providing is incomplete. The program of vitamins or nutraceuticals fails to provide hormones. The program fails to balance the methylation pathway. And the program is not individualized. And finally, the program does not take into account genetic polymorphisms. Let's turn to diabetic macular edema. On the left, you see an eye with severe macular edema that had already failed laser photocoagulation. So the question is there another way to treat this eye other than intravitreal anti-VEGF medications? The answer turned out to be yes. Just with biogenomics alone, we were able to take this eye from the OCT on the left to the OCT on the right. What about this macula with macular degeneration? Do you think that it is possible to improve the vision in this macula? I would have said no. It looks too atrophic. In reality, we did improve the vision. And here is an optometrist writing us saying we are greatly encouraged at Ms. M's progress with her macular degeneration, and we are anxious to add more patients to our study. This is Dr. Cled Click. We wrote a paper on this exact subject. Back when we wrote it, we called it Multimodal Physiologic Medicine and Macular Degeneration. A copy of this paper is available to you. In addition to improving vision, would you like to improve whole body health? Most answer this question with a yes and a sense of disbelief as to how this is possible. To better answer that question, let's define health as optimized physiology or biochemistry. Think of a piano. The strings of that piano are your DNA. Hormones will tune those strings, so if your hormones have declined, your piano won't sound good, and the sound you hear is your biochemistry and quality of life. Methylation are the keys that activate the strings, a very important concept. And again, the sounds equate with health and life quality. Now, a piano is not the only instrument in the orchestra. Other instruments are also necessary for good music, and that includes cofactors in your biochemistry, nutrition, and lifestyle. Now, the strings can be defective, and if they are defective, we call those genetic polymorphisms. So what do we do in biogenomics? In a summary fashion, we reverse hormonal decline. We optimize the methylation pathway, and that is done by measurement, not only of individual biomolecules, but also by looking at genetics. And we improve nutrition. We literally use food as a medicine. Applications. Think cellular. The corneal endothelium may be causing Fuchs dystrophy because of a glutathione deficiency. This came out of Wilmer. Next time you see a Fuchs patient, think of biogenomics to make these cells healthy. The next time you see a cataract, think of the lens epithelium and the genetic and biochemistry deficiencies this patient may have, which is causing the cataract. When you see a diabetic, remember the endothelium and parasites. This is the level at which this disease occurs. When these cells die, you have ischemia. We need to revive the remaining cells that still exist and improve their function. That is the key. Now let's turn to the retina. At the bottom we have the pigment epithelial layer. This is the layer in which we have macular degeneration. I think the reason that patient saw better is because the hormones and nutraceuticals the person was put on reactivated the genetics and biochemistry of the pigment epithelium, allowing that patient to see better. If the cells have died, there usually isn't much we can do, but the remaining cells which are weak, we can rejuvenate them. Same thing for the ganglion cell layer. If a patient has glaucoma, the key to preserve the ganglion cells is to supplement them and support them using bioidentical hormones and nutraceuticals and the like, BioGenomics. Now this is something very interesting. BioGenomics benefits all specialties. So when we are treating a cataract or Fuchs or diabetes or macular degeneration, we are simultaneously also benefiting every other disease on this slide. If a patient comes in and sees their family practitioner for fatigue, they are also going to help with the health of the eye. So what we have here is a free-for-all. Let me now introduce the new language necessary for the eye care professional. We must optimize the biochemistry and genetics of your cell type to treat the corresponding disease. In other words, we must optimize the biochemistry and genetics of your pigment epithelial cells to treat dry macular degeneration. This is what you would say to a patient. Furthermore, you would say we will co-manage your care with an MD as this care goes outside the eye to the rest of your body. Don't be surprised if your non-ocular symptoms improve. That is the new language. This is very important. In summary, you would say to a patient with cataract or macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy or Fuchs dystrophy or possibly glaucoma, we must optimize the biochemistry and genetics of your pigment epithelium to treat your macular degeneration. Do not be surprised if your other medical problems improve as well. We work with PhDs in biochemistry and genetics and MDs to optimize you. I will start you on products to begin the process. I will refer you to XR to learn more. When I say I will start you on products to begin the process, I am referring to a formulary that we will create for you so that you can start providing nutraceutical support. Let's talk about what happens when the patient actually comes to XR. Our systems will take in a personal health history. Our systems involve a telemedicine system. This is done using sophisticated computer systems. Someone needs to order laboratory testing. This is going to be the MD, or in some circumstances it could be the optometrist. We will help create the natural prescription for the patient. That natural prescription will be sent to the doctors to approve it, as they are practicing medicine, and someone needs to present the natural prescription to the patient. We can talk more about that. And then going forward, we need to modify, monitor, and maintain the program to balance out the patient's physiology. And we do that with the doctors. XR does. This is an example of a personal health history. This is only about 5 or 10% of it. This is an example of a natural prescription. It includes nutraceuticals and hormones in particular. After the changes or the initial program have been seen and approved by the clinicians, the patient is then communicated those changes, and that happens very easily by clicking that button which says Approve, Send to Patient. There's a landing page where patients can go to learn more and also place their order. There's a lot that can be improved outside of the eye diseases we discussed, and this slide shows many of the conditions that we can help using biogenomics. As I said, this goes outside the eye. The value to the eye professional. 1. I can better treat major eye diseases. I can profoundly differentiate myself. My patients feel great because of me. I am generating new revenues, approximately $40 per month per patient. I suspect 80% of the patients you see will be purchasing nutraceuticals from you. We are estimating 20% of those patients will be referred to XR and the MD for more intensive biogenomic care. Next steps, call that number, 877-745-9763, so we can set up a time to conference and discuss immediate next steps, which include deciding how to manage your formulary. There is no out-of-pocket expense. A science webinar. By all means, find your first patient. Today in clinic, you will see 3, 4, 5 people who can benefit from this. And be a patient yourself, because biogenomics is like presbyopia. Everybody over the age of 40 actually needs it, but the market doesn't know that yet. Because of the XR backbone that provides the science, you can start immediately. Thank you and have a great day.